Guys, I'm just really excited about a new generation of games. The PlayStation 5 it's finally coming around the corner, and I'm really fortunate to get my hands on a unit for myself. This is the disc unit. They do have two different units. There's a discless unit, but this is the one with the disc, which is great because I'm going to be doing a lot of content, and a lot of my discs that I have for my PlayStation 4, which are backwards compatible, need a disc drive to work. That's how disc drives work. So I'm really excited to switch this guy on, but this is literally just the unboxing video, so I can just let you know a little bit of my insights. I've seen a lot of unboxing videos out there, and I think there's some fundamental things that are missing from some of them. Well, at least I've noticed a couple of things. Firstly, it's impressive. I know it's tall, but it's not as big as I thought it was. A lot of people were going, wow, this is a monolith of a console. Maybe they're hyped me up or something, but it's definitely not what I thought. On the back, you're going to find two USBs, Ethernet, HDMI. Remember, HDMI 2.1, because of the high resolutions that this thing is putting out, you won't find yourself an optical audio. Optical is gone in these new generations. So if you have any optical audio devices, unfortunately, it's no longer there. You're just gonna have to check and see if you can update them. And on the front of the console, you've got a USB and USB-C plug. The outside of this is white. I heard from some people that it was not quite white. It's just really, really white. But there is a little bit of a texture to it, which I really like. I think it's gonna be relatively easy to keep clean. And it's gonna be something that you're gonna wanna keep clean, because as you can see, it's a spectacle. It really is. It's something that's gonna grab people's attention. If you have this in your lounge, people are going to notice it. This is not going to go unnoticed. This is a very noticeable console. And if you want to show off, this is the right way to do it. It's like PlayStation were, in contrast to Xbox this year, were like, what happens if we made the console look like a sports car? And you can see by just the waves and the curve and the design, the grills at the back, it's like and I would love to go into a little bit of history with Sony if they let us, but it's like a motor car designer took on the task of going, how do we make this as cool as possible? And how do we make it look as sexy as possible? And this is their translation. One thing that's a little bit fumbly that I'm not really impressed with is the foot. So as you can see, this is the base. The foot base has to be screwed in. It took me and amble some time to secure this base. I had to take out the manual to work out how to actually install it and put it upright. And you need this base for both putting it vertically and putting it sideways, which is fair because the base comes within the package. But what happens if you're buying this secondhand? Maybe give it like a couple of years from now, you want to buy this secondhand from somebody and they've broken or lost this base. I hope they sell it separately, because you literally aren't going to be able to stand it somewhere. There might be some third-party ones coming down the line, but for the meantime, you're going to have to use the one that's in your box, and that's a little bit confusing. I am really impressed with this look. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I was looking at the renders and the trailers, it didn't catch my eye, like at all. And you can chat to Amble. I was like, not really my cup of tea. But now that it's physically here, it's way more impressive than I anticipated. Even the sides, it's actually a lot thinner. At its thinnest here, it's probably like 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters max on the thinnest. And at the thickest part of it, I'm trying to work out, like I'm just doing this by eye. So probably not accurate, probably about 4 centimeters, maybe 5 centimeters max at the base here. I don't know how big the base plate is, but it is a lot thinner, sleeker than I actually thought it was going to be. So sorry about that, Sony. I'm quite impressed with what's delivered. I think it's just like testament to how these things are made. You probably heard this like a billion times, but inside the actual cover plates, these are removable. I'm not going to remove them right now, but they are removable. You'll see that there's like X, circle, square, and triangle on the inside of the plates, just like printed and embossed in, just to show you that there's like a level and attention to detail, that this isn't just any piece of technology. This is an incredibly high-spec piece of technology, and they want you to know that this is premium. I have sneaky suspicion somebody that's designed motor cars has worked on this. I'm probably very wrong, but I get that feeling that they were like, this can't look like ordinary industrial design. This has got to look iconic. And I think they nailed it. I love the cutout of the PlayStation logo on the top left-hand side of the front. It's just like such a nice, I love that it's not printed on, you know? I love that it's like thought through. There's this middle section here. It's very shiny. I'm not going to touch it, but it's very prone to fingerprints. Besides just sticking it in, if you've got the disk drive, yeah, here's the disk drive. These buttons are probably going to be the only places you touch. If you've got the diskless drive, there shouldn't be any fingerprints. And if you have a little brother or sister that's like grabbing your console, you just like, don't do that. It's going to get fingerprints. What I really like on the back here, there are a lot of like details that a lot of other people have left out in their videos. There's like a whole square, triangle, circle, X in repeat, just as a little detail at the back, which is really cool. This is a very heavy console. That's another thing. So just make sure that you've got a TV unit that can handle it. I mean, it says on the box, on the packaging that we got, that the whole packaging was like 7 kilograms, 7.1 kilograms. Then let's get to the controller. This is the most talked about part of the console, and I've just unboxed it. We've just put it on the table right now, and I've yet to have a closer look at it in terms of its functionality, but the design is something else. Again, it was a design when I looked at this on videos, I wasn't impressed with, but in person and in hand, it's impressive. You know what it is? It's not as big as I thought it was going to be. Again, everything looked really large when I was watching other people's videos and the promo material for it. It just looks a lot better in person. Something people, again, aren't talking about are these buttons. The actual direction pad and the triangle, square, circle, just this clear treatment just with the button underneath just looks so classy. I love it. And they've removed the colors for this triangle, square, circle, X, which I think is also like super classy. The texture, and you may or may not have heard about this, is actually also all the different PlayStation insignia, the shapes just running throughout the grip. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but it is surely really impressive. It's also got the touchpad on the front. It feels a little curvier than the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 had like, little juts. It's bent in. It feels a little bit more ergonomic. Actually, this feels incredible. I'm actually really impressed. Yes, like this is an impressive controller. It's quite a heavy controller compared to the Xbox controller, which I like. It feels like more, it's dense in a way that, listen to the texture on the back. There's a microphone built into the controller, and there's a mute button over here that you can like toggle on and off. They're using that to moderate chat rooms and stuff so people don't like troll and all that kind of thing, which I really appreciate. USB-C at the back, love it. There's also really new technology inside this controller, and I know a lot of people have dedicated content to it, but the triggers are extremely responsive. It seems like they've got multiple motors that can change the tension of each of the triggers, so that when you pull the trigger, depending on the action that you're making, it will affect the pressure with which you press it, which is great for racing games, or if you are maybe pulling a heavier gun up to your line of sight, just it's a little bit harder if you've got an LMG, which is really cool for first-party games. But as we know with some PlayStation stuff, if you have a third-party game, like a Ubisoft title, sometimes the technology, like the touchpad, is not really utilized, and it could be utilized, but it's just harder when you're developing for like so many different platforms. But that said, that those first-party PlayStation titles are the business. We're going to get The Last of Us, most likely. We're going to get God of Wars. We're going to get all these incredible titles that are extremely high budget and use the new technology in the controller to its optimum. So it's going to be a really good experience. I'm excited to play Miles Morales. I've got a code for Godfall, which I would like to try this guy out on. I'm very excited about this new generation of Sony's. I think overall, my favorite part has got to be the controller. The controller feels rather impressive. And like the fact that I was not expecting this console to look as good as it does in real life. I had a lot of judgments, and I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of preconceived judgments about how the PlayStation 5 was going to look. And it's a lot more appealing in person. Yeah, it's a lot more appealing in person. What do you guys think of the PlayStation 5? Which console are you going to be getting? Are you going to be getting the discless or the disc version? I'm going to be uploading and streaming some content with this bad boy very shortly. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hinds, please hit me up there. And yeah, I'm very excited to see where Sony goes this generation. There's a lot of really high quality, high tier games that I'm really excited for. And I think that's really what Sony are saying. You know, I look at this whole package and they are trying to say they're the sports car. They're the top of the range gaming platform. And you can see it not only in our hardware, but in the quality of the games that we publish. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in another video. If you guys want to see my Xbox Series X and S unboxing, I'm going to include that in cards as well, so that you guys can check that out and formulate your own opinion. I'll see you guys in another video. Cheers.